I got a special guest with me today. He's a producer. He's a platinum engineer. This man knows music. This man knows, he's a CEO. He knows anything from mixing and mastering. He's at a great platform. And we're going to get into the mind of David Nozzi. David, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Christopher. Thank you for having me today. And hello, everybody who's listening.
Absolutely. Let's start off with your artist development lane. I love that. I seen that I said, wow, we got to start off with that. That's unique. And yeah, I was like, wow, that's different. I was expecting just that. I was like, yeah, I want to pick your brain about that first. But what motivates you to work with artists individual? I mean, you're very successful in your own right in other lanes as well, but in the music, dealing with artists from a one-on-one standpoint, that development side, what do you see? What did you want to explore to working with artists, and that you thought that would be a great aspect to what you do already?
Well, actually, this is I to be completely honest, I had absolutely no intention to do that.
Really? Wow, that's
from,
okay.
Coming from a past as a professional musician.
Okay.
We were talking about a life ago. I was signed with let's just say a major label. Let's not name names.
Okay.
And that relationship didn't go that well. Okay. And they did what major labels very often do with new artists, which is either they shelve you, so they basically buy you out and put you literally on a shelf without promotion, without nothing.
Wow.
And yeah, in my case, that's what happened back then. And I was, me being young and stupid back then, I just signed my soul to them. So all my, credits and masters and copyrights and everything, and they could do with my songs whatever they wanted. And, it was really, really hard to get even paid for it. And eventually I was able to just break free from that very, very bad contract. But the same thing happens to a lot of, new artists, because they simply don't know unless, they are smart enough and to hire a lawyer before signing something like this. A lot of young artists are like, hey, this is a major label. I'm going to make it, right?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people, think. The truth is that only few artists signed by major labels actually, quote unquote, make it. But anyway, with that experience in mind, that taught me, and also working with a lot of musicians as a producer, as a mix engineer, taught me that there's probably nothing harder than breaking a new artist. I want to say to fame, let's say just to the market, in the market.
Okay.
Then as an independent is probably most likely the hardest thing to do. I fall into it. I found myself doing it simply because the artist that I met was so amazing that, following also the advice, which was an advice that another mix engineer, Dave Pensado, gave me at a different time in the past, I wanted to try at least to be the one who made it happen for her.
Okay.
And so Bella Kelly, which is my artist, and now she's also my fiance, but that happened years later. But she came from the TV and movie industry, so she was an actress. Yeah, but her passion was always music. And a common friend of ours introduced us at a music event. I just moved back to LA, and she just decided, you know what, I'm done with the movie and TV and stuff like that, because I don't really, I like it, but it's not my passion. I want to do music. And so kind of the stars aligned there. And I remember when I was introduced to her, she just said hi to me. She just said hi, and that like my reaction was like, wait, hold on a second, what was that sound that came out from your mouth right now? Like, say that again. She has this fairy-like voice that it was just enchanting.
Wow.
And mesmerizing, and so yeah, that was like right there I was like, all right, this girl is gonna be amazing, and I want to be there. I want to try to be the guy that makes it happen. So this is how I started.
Wow. That's amazing. A lot of artists, sometimes they think they got to seek investment first. And then some artists really try to focus on their craft. They need that sound, right? They need that right produce, that sound. Do you think it's better for an artist to seek investment capital first, or to really fine tune their craft, find the right producer? Because it's a marriage. You got to have a right sound, the right package, the right image. Do you think it's best to go that way? Be patient, kind of build your brand and your niche sound that way first?
Well, let's put it this way. Is an equation.
Okay.
So every piece, you can't really say which one is more important, right? And I'll get to it. I wanna say something that it might make some people unhappy, but I'm not breaking anybody's dream with this. But everything has to start with someone that gives you the reaction that I had with her. It wasn't just her voice, it was her presence. She is a girl that when she walks into a room, it doesn't matter. She could wear a potato sack. Everybody stops and look at her, right?
Wow.
And so I always say, because she has a very soft spoken voice when she speaks, and I always say she captures your attention when in a world where everybody's trying to be loud and scream to get. She captures your attention with like the softness. So whether it's this or something else, I think that a project like this, like going into trying, to actually make a career as an artist, it has to start with something special that the artist itself has to have. And this is not easy because, sometimes, just, hey, this artist is cool. And, there's a lot of factors going in as to why an artist, get to the success, whatever the definition of success is. But it has to start with something like that famous it factor.
Yeah, right? That star quality. You hear it all the time. It's like sometimes you can't even explain it.
Yeah, exactly. But when you see it, when she walks on a red carpet, how the photographers react. How people around her react when, her or any other artist, walks in the room. With that said, you touched a very important subject in today's market. And the music business is called business for a reason. So you indeed, if you want to do this as an independent, you indeed need some kind of capital.
Understood.
Because there's no denying that it doesn't matter how great you are and how talented you are and how great your music, and your songs are. You need to put them in front of people. If people don't know about them, unfortunately, this is very common. They are these amazing songs. They're going to sit there.
Yeah, I see.
And, the reason is, yes, today we have social media, right? Which give you easy access to people. The problem is there's 300 million people trying to do it.
Exactly.
So everybody's feed is full of, people like, go listen to my single, listen to this, listen to that. And so, it's a double-edged sword in that regard. Yeah. And the answer to that, unfortunately, the major labels, show us is to have connections, to have capital, to have an investment, just like you would do for any other business. If you open a gym, you have to buy equipment. If you open, it's no different. And a lot of people, unfortunately, I still see artists that think, oh, if my music is amazing, I'm going to make it. And you have this, without an investment in promotion, which simply means you have to show your music to people.
Correct.
You have the same chances of winning the lottery, So at the same time, though, that's why I said it's difficult to answer like which one
is which. Yeah, it's like that, like you said. It's really a combination of things working simultaneously.
It is. It is.
One thing when it really is there's no recipe for it, because if it was, it'd be done so often, right?
Exactly.
So really, the right artist, the right management, the right team, everything got to work and click. And when it does, you see magic. You get the magic
absolutely.
results. Yeah.
The timing, maybe.
Yes, sometimes it's the timing.
Yeah. How many songs we see, especially now with TikTok, we see songs that were released like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh my God, they're amazing, right? Maybe because that song back then didn't have enough promotion, or it wasn't the right moment, or it was like too ahead of its time,
Yeah.
So it's at the same time, though, you have to have your product up to par, because the competition right now is extreme. Simply because there's a lot of people, pretty much everybody can release music with their laptop. The problem is a lot of that stuff sounds like ass. I don't know, can I curse it? So the thing is, what you don't want is to get, let's say you get a meeting in LA, right? So you get a meeting with a big label, or with whatever big publisher, whatever it is, and your product that you present at that time is half-assed.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to go at the same time. It's like it's like a car, right? If you have $100,000 car, but you take a wheel off, the car ain't gonna run.
It ain't gonna run.
For that. Yeah, for that one tire, that is like probably $500. But everything needs to, like you said, like click and kind of progress at the same time.
At the same time. Any updates on her EP?
The EP is done. The video is at the editing stage.
Nice.
And that means if everything goes as planned, we're probably going to release in about 4 or 5 months from now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Potentially after the single, is it potentially any, the EP rather, working it into a promotional tour, putting it out there, getting on the road? 2023 is right around the corner. Is any game plan with that?
Yes, we are considering it.
Okay.
Because right now, like she's a very new artist. I mean, we have only 2 singles out, even though the last single passed 1 million on YouTube, and the one before is over 700, and she's still a new artist, right? So we are considering, because with the EP and a couple of covers in, we do have a set that we could take live, not as a headliner right now, but we are considering opening. We have a bunch of artists that collaborated in this EP, so we might attach her to those artists that are our friends, that are bigger and known. We are considering it right now. It's like to release an EP as an independent, again, it's a lot of work.
Okay.
So we can only do kind of one thing at a time. And also, I'll be completely honest with you, we need to see how people respond to this, how the fans respond to this, right?
I see.
Because you never know. I mean, if you have a machine like a major label, it doesn't matter. I don't want to. This is half true, but it doesn't really
true
matter.
Though it is.
You're gonna shove it up, people's throat, in the gym, in the mall, in the elevator, in the radio, everywhere they go. I mean, chances are someone is gonna show up at your live show, right?
Correct.
But when you're an independent, you need to kind of assess, okay, this EP went into this direction, which is similar to the first singles, but a little bit different. Okay. It kind of glues the 2 singles together, because the first single is kind of a trap metal, and the second one is a ballad. They both have this melancholic vibe to them, because that's how she writes. Her lyrics are very emotional, but at the same time is kind of I don't know, new somehow.
Okay,
her sound. So we'll see how it responds, and then we'll see the demand, because again, to put an artist on the road when you don't have a tour support by a major is expensive. So again, it's an investment, and you hope to get it back. Yeah.
Of course. It's part of the strategy with building her brand, is to take your time, kind of assess each single, let each single, each project breathe a little bit. Marketing, brand, everything is to the T. Like, really, there's beauty in taking your time, and which you don't see a lot in the music industry right now. Everybody's just throwing out, once again, garbage.
Yeah.
Right? It's just oversaturated. Oh my goodness. With just what is this? And what I see with you guys, you're building something serious. I can see it. I'm like, okay, this is different.
Well, so if you notice the trend out there, there's kind of two ways the artists approach this. One much more prominent and prevalent than the other, which is one song every 3 weeks. Just crank shit out like constantly, right? And this is a Spotify game. You remember when the CEO of Spotify says like, oh, you can't release a song a month or like a song every 2 months. You need to just, that's not how you do it.
That's not how you do it.
Well, the problem is that works for Spotify. You're making money to them, you know? So, but it's not completely wrong. For certain artists, that's also a good way to do it. It works. Not for an artist like her. For an artist like her, this is, of course, my approach. We take our time because for two reasons. First, we all want to be proud of what we put out.
Understood.
And that takes time. There's no way around it, you know? There's a reason why the artists before this madness of the streaming platforms took time in studio and stay there for months. To work on songs. Yeah. And second, because, and this is kind of funny, but at the same time, you know, it's true. I have a platform, right? I have a fairly big YouTube channel where I teach people to mix and master, and companies trust me with their products, with their, you know, analog, to explain how they work, and which is amazing. But at the same time, if I put myself in a position, you know, to teach other people, I also know, and I'm aware that anything that I put out is gonna be scrutinized like nothing else. You know, so
that comes with it.
Exactly, because you know, there's always people that doesn't like you just because they don't like your hair or something, right? So I need to be, you know, untouchable, and they need to be like her product, especially her product. But I also, you know, there's also, at this point, she's my fiance, and while I put the same kind of effort on any product that I touch, whether I mix it or I master it, you know, this is my baby in, you know, in the literal sense. So, you know, we want to just take our time, and I think for an artist like her, you kind of give, you know, it's like if you have a shop and it's got 1,000 objects in it, right, 1,000 items for sale. It's different if you enter the same shop and it has like 3 things under glass with the lights around it, right?
Yeah.
You immediately say, "Oh my God, that must be
what
expensive."
Is that? There you go. That's the perfect analogy. I like that.
Yeah. So I think it that way. I think every single piece that she writes and we write together, it's a piece of art. So we want to treat it like that.
Beautiful. What are some of the mix and mastering services that you actually offer?
Well, that's my main job.
Okay.
You know, even though this takes 50% of my time, that's my main job. Like I mix and master for other artists all around the world, and I'm kind of, I want to say, known for being extremely versatile. Proof is right here. I was yesterday in studio with Ministry, which is one of the greatest industrial band in the history. Yeah. And today I'm mixing an R&B artist.
Wow, so, that's cool.
At the same time, I did rock and metal my entire life, but I won a double platinum with McSolaar, which is the biggest French rapper.
Yeah.
So just, you know, I guess that's what kind of makes me maybe a little bit different than others that are, you know, specialized, I want to say, in 1 or 2 genres. You see this happening a lot with hip hop producers and engineers and also metal.
Okay.
You know, kind of the two stream. They kind of have hard time doing something different.
I see. They're not as versatile.
Yeah. While I've been thrown into, you know, projects that, you know, they were like completely different one another. And I think my thing is kind of contaminate the genres. Which it's funny because it reflects on what we do with Bella. You know, when the first single Throw came out, which is this trap / industrial song, nobody knew what the hell it was, you know. And I think it's a good thing because
it's a great thing, yeah.
Yeah, on some magazines they were like industrial or metal, and the article says like, this will sound crazy, but if you like, I don't know, Nine Inch Nails, you need to listen to this girl. Yeah. And then we got hip hop magazines. Yeah. That they were saying, like, okay, this is very strange, but this is also cool. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And mastering as well. You know, I'm known for being like kind of loud, which a lot of people says the loudness war is over because the streaming platforms, you know, give you like the guidelines for a certain loudness, and this is kind of BS because follow those guidelines, your product is going to sound like weaker and deflated compared to everybody else in the industry because nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I see. Are you working on any other music production projects outside of Bella, or you just exclusively work with Bella?
Right now, I am actually waiting for 2 projects to come in.
Okay.
And I can't talk about them yet.
Sure.
NDA. But yeah, I usually really don't. I kind of pick and choose the productions.
I see.
Yeah, while I'm more open, so to speak, for mixing and mastering, because production, when I start producing something, I want to put a lot of time in it. Otherwise, there's no reason, for me to do it. And of course, you know, you can only do so much of that because you have, 24 hours in a day like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wait for the right project, the one that I either, I feel on a human, level with the artist, and we kind of click together, or it's a very interesting project, like I really like the music or something like that. Right now, I'm waiting for 2 of them to finish pre-production.
Okay.
And then start. Yeah. And one, I can tell you the genres, which again will prove what I just said. I mean, one is a gothic band.
Wow.
And the other one is Colombian trap artist.
Wow. Completely different lanes. I love
it. Yeah.
Your YouTube channel, as you mentioned earlier, is literally huge. Mixbus TV, and constantly growing. Do you have any other ideas on how to evolve it, or can people expect anything new from your company or that YouTube channel potentially in 2023 as you try to evolve, expand it, or just open up the doors for new collaborations?
Collaborations are always open.
Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some things in the work which I don't want to jinx, so I'm not saying anything. Sure. But the channel, has been growing, fairly constantly, and that's great. A lot of collaboration with a lot of companies that actually consult with me for new plugins, for new softwares and stuff like that.
Nice.
One interesting thing that I will be opening, and that is thanks to a new software that is available. It's called Session Wire, and that is for the first time allows not only a channel like me, but any producer or musician in the world to, for the very first time, to actually put together all the softwares that we were using before to do remote work. So like we are using Zoom, you and me right now, right?
Okay.
And then you have to use another software to stream the audio from Pro Tools, and another software to capture the video, and then everything is out of sync, and it's a mess. This Session Wire thing puts everything together. So you have video, you have audio, you have chat, you have file sharing right there on the screen. It's actually amazing.
Wow.
And that opens up for me the possibility to do private lessons and mixed consultations, like literally like you were in the studio with me in real time.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a really cool thing that is going to happen, like, from like at the end of the year probably.
Okay.
And another cool format that a lot of people seem to like, and I started a couple of weeks ago, is just no talking mastering sessions, in which I have a camera on me and a camera on my gear and my screen, and I don't say a word, but I just put overlays of what I was thinking at that time.
Wow.
While I was working on the song. And people really, really seem to love this because they can concentrate on the music and on the different moves that I do with, either an EQ or a compressor, and they're not distracted by my blabbering, but at the same time they can see my thought process. And I got a really good feedback about those, so we're gonna keep doing them.
Yeah, that's game changing. It seems like it's something simple, but it's resonating with people and musicians in a different way, and probably just some fans in general. They're probably just intrigued, like, how does he do that?
Yeah, really cool. And that was actually an accident. I just turned the camera while I was mastering to rewatching myself, and I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. Let's put it out. And everybody was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Ain't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Speaking of personal training, one-on-one time, do you provide personal training? And I know you got a healthy lifestyle, and do you provide any kind of healthy tips or workouts or anything like that?
Well, I used to prep fitness athletes, and I used to prep them. I never did it myself. I never competed myself because I'm not gonna take my shirt off and oil my body and go on stage on a Speedo. That ain't gonna happen.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I used to prep people, mostly friends that were close to me. But other than that, I don't really do that anymore. But of course, I have like close friends that maybe want to get back in shape, or they need to lose weight, and they know that I have like a background in that, and I can help them out, and I'm always happy. I do promote, without push. I'm not pushing. I'm not the guy they're gonna tell you, like, why are you eating that? That's bad for you. I don't give a fuck. Eat whatever you want. But
it's on you.
Here and there, because people ask me, like, how do you stay in shape? Like you are, and you're sitting all day, at your desk.
Yeah.
I always say, don't let yourself go, especially if you're a mix engineer, because we do sit all day behind the desk.
I see.
So don't wait until it's too late. Otherwise, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool, man. Well, this has been interesting and funny at the same time.
I mean, I've been training my entire life just simply because, it's funny because it's my release stress. Like,
I see.
It's such a different type of fatigue, being concentrated for like 8 hours straight on a snare.
I see.
And the kind of fatigue that you have like after you squat 350 pounds for like 15 times. I find that they kind of compensate each other. Like, I'm tired physically when I get out of the gym, but my brain seems like refreshed.
I see. Awesome. Well, thank you, David. Man, you've been informative, helpful. I learned so much about the music industry just through this. Listening to you, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
That's cool. That's cool. We can do it anytime.
Thank you so much. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. Bella's Kelly's EP is here. The music video is being worked on. David's in the studio as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
He's consistent working. And any last public flowers or thank you want to give to Bella's fans and or to your listeners, your support team?
Oh, absolutely. I want to first of all thank all my subscribers and of course all the friends and colleagues that have been supporting the both of us, both me and Bella. Shout out to just one of the many, Monty Pittman from Ministry and Ryan Shuck from Julien-K, my two brothers, Mike Ransom, who played on the EP with me as well, and all Bella's fans and, all the outlets like you guys that, gave us, a little bit of space and time to, to present ourselves. And that's it. Everything when the video is going to be out, when the EP is going to be out, is going to be on my social media. So mine is easy because it's all Mixbus TV across all platforms, and hers is easy too because it's Bella Kelly Official on all platforms.
Excellent. David, we appreciate you guys. Listeners, we appreciate you. Stardom 101 Magazine Podcast. We are gone.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
Are you on the rise to stardom? Well, get featured in the next issue of Stardom 101 magazine and promote your business or products today. Text MAG to 804-550-8647 or visit stardom101mag.net.
You're listening to the Stardom 101 Magazine podcast with Christopher Boykin. Be sure to subscribe and download this episode, and continue to listen to Stardom on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.